Figure it out right now because game number 4 is underway. We're gonna hop into the lobby and see this drop.
Some type of way, and Wars, that 60-point game's got to have them feeling some type of way. Top left of your screen is going to be Team Wars. We can see where the zone is pulling, and once again for the analyst crew in the back, guys, that water is going to be pretty excluded there down towards the south.
That's what I'm saying. Reflections, go get your water circle somewhere else. We're hanging out with nearly an identical circle to the last map. So a lot of these teams likely have learned something from the last one. Speaking of learning something, we're going to see some hot drop, contested drops. It's the second half of the tournament. That means things are changing, and that means Echo Squad, full team wipe on their hands already. That's 3 points added to their resume in the first 30 seconds of the game.
Gosh, that was some friend-on-friend violence. Echo and Code Finest. Code Finest being a part of Team MZ's team. They're friends, man, and they're going to keep on the aggressive nature. X12's in hand. Topster Bomb going to fall. Bubble's already fallen, but Echo does have that Baz P, and he's going to try to make it work, but that's going to be a full wipe. Let's see Bubble going up against Code Finest, who they just previously eliminated in the Gulag. Still more friend-on-friend violence, bro.
Yeah, that was a very hot drop, and we're going to see several of those throughout the course of the second half of this tournament. Like I was saying, teams have got to adjust, and well, Tyson's going to have to adjust immediately. He's going to get knocked, and that's exactly what happens. Team 13 coming in hot, looking for a couple knocks if they can kind of answer in kind against Team 34. And Tiff, I got to say, these colors, they look very similar.
Yo, I think MZ just dropped Jukeyz in the gulags, and he's going to find himself there shortly. And Bubbles, I think, did win the gulag for them to be. That's going to be a down and out for Code Finest, but MZ will be able to keep that team alive. Now, Code, this is nothing against you, my man. I always see you in my chat, like, talking about my loadouts and whatnot, and you just got dropped in the ghoulie.
Sure, yeah, call him out every single time, Tiff. I love that. Pentagon Fuss, one of the teams on the bubble, they need to make a move, and we're not talking about bubble CT. We're talking about the bubble of making stage 2 finals. We have got to make a move, gents, because at this point, I think they're currently sitting actually at that 25th mark. That's correct. They have 24 points overall after 3 games. If they maintain, we're pretty much right on the metric we thought. Now, Swagg's going to try to push the boundaries of what we think is possible, trying to win a 1v2, 1v3, and Almazra, yeah, no chance. See you later. Head to the gulag, try to win your way back into it. Tiff, we've got Pentagon sitting at 25th at 24 points. Double that into the tourney, that's 48. That's right where we're talking about we need to score, is around that 50-point mark if you want to qualify for stage 2 without having to go through the actual qualifiers for stage 2. But the teams at the top vying for a majority of our prize pool. Team Wars, of course, is up 30 some odd points after a monster last game led by King AJ. 93.6 currently after 3. Team Joewo, one of the squads everybody expected to be at the top, currently at 60.2 in second. So yes, a 30-point margin, but all it takes is one big pop-off game. You could be at the top of this leaderboard in no time.
Look, we talk about how you breach a building, and that's going to be Team Valve and your map 2 winners, walking upstairs ever so slowly with that broadside, a couple drill charges. But if you can peek through the Codcaster, look how well Team 35 is set up. There's a Claymore, a Proxmine, and it's going to go off immediately, backing down. But that's not going to change anything because they are 3 stacking up there with every angle on the door. Drill charge not going to connect, and this is where Valvin has to start thinking about how do we want to approach this.
Yeah, it can be a patient kind of waiting game, but I think at this point it's just waiting for teammates to get there. They could triple stack through. They've got Zeit trying to take an outside angle. If you could grab a pick here, that would allow an opportunity for Valve to at least try a push through the door and try to play a trade, but this is going to be a tough fight. One behind the door. Always check behind your doors. We learned it in NA. We've learned it today already. We'll see if we have to teach that lesson for a 3rd time on broadcasting. We're getting knocks from distance. It looks like somebody's pushed from the other side. Teammate able to grab a couple knocks, and all of a sudden Valve has an opportunity and elects to actually go down to the bottom because we got some precision airstrikes. We're not taking any chances.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a lot of ammo either. Only 12 bullets in the broadside, so that can be a little spicy. Here they go.
Okay.
It's left. See, now that's what I'm talking about. Yes, it's good, but not necessarily in those open areas. We're talking about Breadman yesterday running that sniper shot. He's like, I lose out on my mid-range engagements, and that makes it tough, right? But Zeit is going to be running that Lockman SMG available to them. Come on over, check in with Santified. Do have high ground here, looking to get a better angle.
Benny Central's team, a solid squad, looking to continue to build chemistry here even throughout the tournament. They've had an okay day at best. They'd love to improve it in map 4, of course, as does everyone, but they need to play together, getting a little separated here against Team 38, and this is gonna be a tough fight to win. Santify, their squad has been doing well today, inside the top 10 earlier, and still maintaining that position. Drill charge to push off the top. A lot of comms, I'm assuming, flying, and Meeks covering the advances. Another potential drop onto the ground with either a breaking of legs or maybe the shots. I'm not sure, but Meeks played it flawlessly, taking the outside angle with no one calling that out, no one seeing that angle. Meeks was free and clear out in the open. Gets an answer back from Benny, but it's not enough to do anything about it.
Well, you really don't want to go down this early either, because you're currently sitting in 3rd place with Team Jukeyz looking to overtake you. So you need to play the value of your life. And Benny, yeah, utilizing the highway here, just a little bit of cover. It's usually pretty good to be able to approach a team and rotate throughout here, but you don't have any smokes. You've got an F-Tag Siege in your hand, and you do have your Cronin available to you, but this is where you disengage and you keep moving. But let's jump on over to this gas station standoff with Tactical, Brit, and Chunk hidden behind the register, just waiting for Pika to come in the door.
And Tactical Brit's team is one of those that's outside of the bubble, currently sitting in 38th, by the way, so they really need a massive game to start moving the tides in their favor. Consistency over banger maps, that's the way I like to play. If you're down at the bottom, you need a banger map. And speaking of the banger map, King AJ on your screen, 17 in the last one, wants to maintain that momentum. Yesterday we saw momentum be king. Today likely momentum's going to be on King's side, Tiff, because if they can keep this up, have the wind in their sails, no one's catching them.
Yeah, and I like Rohan Oil. You can find some good engagements here, and especially if you're extremely familiar with the map, you can try to force engagements to your favor, and that looks exactly like what they're doing. That other team might be running, could have heard Wars' interview just ahead of this map and say, you know, you should be scared to take on our team, and they might be.
They might be. See, Ben OG is a fun team to take a look at. We'll be keeping an eye on them on the leaderboard. Should they be able to advance? They were actually 26th overall in the qualifiers, but ended up getting an invite. So they're here on a bit of a redemption tour. Tuned into his stream beforehand. He didn't even answer my questions because he was jamming so hard. And then all he did was type in his own chat saying redemption arc, redemption arc, redemption arc. So hey, look, I believe in you, but you got to get a move on, Ben. Let's see it. Let's see that redemption. Found an early elimination, it looks like, and we'll see what they're able to do. Maybe they can pick a couple. It looks like somebody else loadout was nearby, so maybe they wiped that squad and are looking for the next.
L on your screen, grabbing a nice little precision airstrike, finding some eliminations, doing a little bit of cleanup work. Make sure you're stacking up at least 15 armor plates. That's the way to go from what we've been seeing. But you got Team Echo holding out the rooftop up there with Bubble. Squad 31 on the underneath, could be waiting to try and take that zip. Maybe not the smartest move for you there. And let's jump on over to the precision mine chaoticness.
It looks like Bubble's cleaning up a squad. That's one against Pace. Melvin and Shucks a little bit in trouble here. They're not careful. A little bit separated too, so this could be a little bit of a tough fight. Yep. A little bit of a lot of things, Tiff, if Bubble's gonna not maintain that high ground. It looks like Bubble's gonna hang out here and just look for any free picks on the rotations. Shucks on the opposing side. Mano a mano. Top of those ruined buildings. Great place to be, but will the zone pull that direction? Showstopper squads have a great day today. I've talked about them several times. Currently sitting in, I believe, 5th or 6th. Currently just jumped up to 5th on my live track leaderboard. Showstopper's been really good at finding early eliminations. This team putting up kills. Again, still need some of those multipliers, but sitting in top 6 going into the second half of the tournament, you're likely qualified already, right? Or you're close to it. Even if you drop triple zeros, you're probably qualifying or very close. Maybe 1 or 2 kills that you need. And so as such, play with confidence. Go in for the win. You want that cash. There's a lot of money to be had today. $150,000.
$150,000 is a lot of money, can change a lot of lives. We saw what happened yesterday. Aydan said it was one of his most monumental tournament victories, taking home that $30,000 yesterday. And he's like, it kind of felt like old school Verdansk, but that's what you love to hear. And now we've got this ammo cache building engagement here, and you've got the rooftop, so it's not too bad. But Tactical Brit once again has found themselves on the inner workings of a building, and that can give you the advantage, but you always have to check those windows. They're so dangerous.
Yeah, they're going to play this fairly tactically, following in Tactical Brit's namesake. A solid team. Jaff played with, I believe it was Benny Central last year, and didn't have a fantastic amount of success. Hasn't been replicated any greater this time around, I suppose, but still have a full half of the tournament. Things can change quickly. We've seen it. Saw it yesterday. Let's take a look at the map here, Tiff. You can see where some of our teams are located. Fairly well spread out. Teams already set up in city as to be expected. Maybe they were listening to Enigma's cracking the code. You got to rotate early to find success. But the big question is, are we going to see the exact same circle as last time? Are we going to see ourselves into city? Or is this time we're going to be over in maybe hydroelectric or something like that?
Only time will tell, but really paints a good picture. I saw in the Elam feed, you know, Jukeyz team, they are still going, but Wars actually was going up against FIFA Kill. But when we see the map view, they've already made a full regain, so that's really good to see here, because it was looking a little dire for them. And Wars continuing on that warpath, Showstopper trying to stop the engagement that's coming their way. And sometimes you just have to position yourself on the roof, try to maintain headies, but these ladders, you want to make sure that no one's pushing up against you. But Column A, nice try to do a lot of damage, and actually it worked.
Yeah, it's a great shout, Tiff. It was a team effort there when they have the high ground. If you can enact any damage, you're going to take that 1v1. You go into a 1v1 that's usually, let's just say the two players are even in skill level, 50 on 50. You're looking at 50% success rate. If your teammate helps you out, crack shields, and you can push the fight before they get their shields back in, you raise those percentages. That's what these players are doing the whole time, are these subconscious decisions based on how high of a chance there is that they win that fight. Now, proximity mines or not, you're going to shoulder check those doors, proc those mines. You're going to tell the other team that you're coming, but the question is when. So if they can stack this correctly and catch some of their opponents offhand or on a rotate, setting up on the top lane without hearing some footsteps, you're going to be feeling fantastic. All you need is one pick, and then the floodgates open.
Good reposition, joining back up with Lenun. Does not have a smoke available to them. Thermites in hand, going in. I don't see any really damage connection. But Team 48 on the inside, you have to be very weary because the setup is coming and they're going to start to pinch in. Jukeyz looking for a nice jump up spot. Not necessarily going to hit it, but that's fine. Lenun's chilling, making his way around the back. You'd see where the prox mines are in the building, at least 3 of them. So shoulder checking or trying to destroy those, it's gonna be impressive. Oh no, Claymore detect going in. Now you've got a chains positioning, and look at Jukeyz. He's like, all right, maybe I'll check the door.
All 3 on the balcony said, no, not that angle. How about we try this angle? Oh, Bergs, you're gonna just isolate 1v1? Perfect. I love that. I'm Lenun. I'm gonna win that. Proximity mines or otherwise. We've lost Jukeyz though. Jukeyz tried to do the same on the other side, following in Berg's footsteps, loses his life, and now it's a 2v2 in a tough fight. Both teams trying to relocate, try to figure out how to take this fight. And there's another team looking around the corner. That's Samsa, Control, and Junior. Watch out. They will come in, steal some of these kills in the moment's notice if it's free.
Yeah, when you think about the highlights of what Jukeyz was saying on the broadcast, a lot of these players are just standing still, playing scared, and I'm not gonna call that playing scared. It's just being effective, I guess, moving into zone, having 3+ prox mines, some claymores. If you really want to defend yourself and look for picks through a window, that's the way to do it. But it does make for a rather tough push if you're another team looking to get in there.
Well, shout to Team Wars on paper in our live screen standings. First team to break 100 points. And this might be the first team to get completely ripped out of a vehicle if they're not careful. They will make it to the water, find a bit of cover. Sanctify, they've had a great tournament. Got to keep the pace up, though. Tactical Brit being chased down by Wiz. Or rather, is it the other side of that? Is it Wiz and Jaff holding? Yes, it is. A stun coming through. You haven't seen a couple stuns in a while, Tiff. A lot of smokes. Not a lot of stuns. Wiz is going to do everything in their power to stay alive. This could be the last remaining player again on FIFA's team. If this is a team wipe at 42nd, I'm not sure FIFA's team could even qualify.
Yeah, that was just too much for Abwiz to be able to take on. And, you know, Jaff, Enigma had some moments to talk to him, and he was saying, you know, this tourney means a lot to me. I took a break for a year for mental and health, and I'm super excited to prove to everyone that I deserve to be up there with the best. And now you're putting yourself here in map number 4 in such good positioning, eliminating top fraggers and names in this game, and I hope you keep up the success, buddy.
Jukeyz team is keeping up some success as well. I'm worried about FIFA Squad, the dream team, if you will, having gone down yet again. They might have just been split, though, so that might just be Wiz trying to grab some information, or split because of an unfortunate gunfight that they couldn't relocate. So I think they're still alive, but we'll keep an eye out for that team because they are in... they're at risk of relegation for those quote-unquote football fans across the pond. We know it is soccer over here in North America, but I respect the football world. And relegation here means you're gonna have to go through another set of qualifiers. Vision is down. Jukeyz in a little bit of trouble, but don't be feared. There's Lenun right around the corner. Tiff, Stuo, Pazuka, Inxian pushing another fight interior, and this time they might not win it.
Mad Lions Kriper on your screen. Trying to reposition. One member of the team is down, but let's get a nice free cam as we look over Hydroelectric. You can just see all the teams that are kind of spread out. Each building kind of on this main roadway of Hydro has been occupied, but no one really wanting to push the issue just yet. They will have to move when that circle starts closing within the near 40-ish seconds, but we're 16 minutes into this map, 43 squads remaining. Kaiza down to 1 member left.
Kazar, my friend, I am so sorry having to play as a duo here currently. We've seen a duo win. It was yesterday, actually, Tiff, in the North American regional finals. A duo only made it in with 2 out of 3 of their players, still won the game. It's possible, but Kazar is in trouble. There are a ton of teams around. No player advantage in sight. Again, Kazar is one of those players on Fuzzin and Pentagon's team that was currently situated on that bubble at 25th. Kazar is going to have to make a monster heroic play here, especially if the circle does end up in Hydra, which it looks like it might eventually pull out of, but at the very least, still inside the circle for now.
It's like Team Samham flying in, trying to go north of our teams on the screen. Try to rotate in around them. Skims in a little bit of trouble here, but they've made it into cover. Lost out on Burgess.
Yeah, this is going to be a slow-paced moment here for a second. I just saw Kazar get wiped in the kill feed. Got to shout it out, pour one out from my boy. That's tough scenes. I think they might be out of the game as well. Going to have to regain the final 2 maps, but not tough scenes. Rakes holding down this building. Going to be able to hold some of these teams rotating in, whether that's Team 15 trying to rotate in. You've got 47 on the other side of the map here. Quirky, Diablo, Groovy, they're holding down this POI, and this looks a little bit more reminiscent to what we saw TBE doing. 2 in one building, 1 in the other, holding each other's angles. I talked about the Chicago Bulls triangle defense. I always translate it to Warzone because it's a lot of fun to have that conversation. If you can make sure you're within certain distances of each other and always hold each other angles, that's going to be a key to your success in holding down POIs in particular, not necessarily breaching. Visions is back in the map. We saw Lenun floating, so it seems like Team Jukeyz hasn't had a fantastic map either, albeit they do have several kills between the 3 of them. They're going to just try to stay alive, and as we work our way towards City Tiff, this is looking a bit more reminiscent of what we saw last map.
Does have the availability of the money to buy back if he needs to. You can see he picks up another elimination on your left, but a good map update here. And we are going to this POI. The congestion here is real, and Cam trying to stay alive goes down. Iran trying to come in from the roof. A lot of smokes, able to find one off guard. That's going to be Chunk. Then back up. Looking for Tactical Brit, who has made the great escape, but gets caught out by none other than King AJ, looking to add to his hunting list.
Yeah, a lot of these squads on the edge of zone hunting for eliminations. Gromalok's team doing a lot of the same. You can see they're all on the edge of red. They're all going to have to move in, and they're all going to probably move in around the same time. This is going to be a very tough rotate. But let's look at the center of zone. Mixed dead center grabbing a loadout. Dead center's not where you want to be, Tiff, because there's no cover there. We've got buildings all around inside this next circle. If that zone pulls dead center, it is going to be wide out in the open. It's going to be a smokes game, and whoever's got the most is going to come out on top. Wars squad, it looks like at least 2 of them alive, looking for some elims. Here's a fight indoors. Jukeyz, Visions, looking for more eliminations, trying to grab height on edge. Could hold a couple teams here, could just wipe the inside and keep moving on. I don't mind this play. Keep hunting, gentlemen. We're near the top of the leaderboard. We're winning gunfights. No reason not to step up the pressure.
Well, you heard them in the interview. They want to win today. And now the odds, the numbers, they're stacked against them. But a beautiful portable buy is going to allow to get the regain back onto Lenun because Vision had $10,000. Each buyback is going to be 4K, so not bad at all. Now you've got Homie that's going to be able to give calls from the sky so long as nobody looks up for this portion of the game. And why would you? Because look at the chaos down below. Gromalok on your left, trying to find some cheeky angles over there with Heeds and FIFA Kill, the dream team that Dream would call them. They're gonna have to find a little bit of success here, but they're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and they're looking down at Wars.
Rock and a hard place in the top of the leaderboard. Wars is full teams on the other side. This is gonna be a full 3v3, and FIFA Kill's entire team has their back to the zone. This is a very difficult fight to win, and they might even decide not to take it if they elect a full wrap here, if they have the gas mask for it. FIFA Kill's hoping to just grab some errant damage to get some information if he can, or maybe a snipe from Oki. This has been their strategy through all the practice tournaments. All it takes is one headshot from Oki, and there's their entryway. Maybe it's not a door, but at the very least, it's a window they can crawl through. Take their time here. Some smokes cover their advances. Somebody needs to grab a pick, and they need to grab it now, or FIFA Kill squad is at risk of falling early in this map. There's still 28 players left. King AJ over the top, taking some damage. Oki a little bit in trouble. Wiz has 3 currently. It has to get to some cover. Tiff, this is a very tough gunfight to win.
Yeah, at that point, Wars was fighting someone else, so they're still trying to fend off the front of them. Meanwhile, FIFA's time coming in from the flank, and now they're going to get looked at by everyone. AB Wiz, this is where you need to go hard.
You got to find a snipe to help, and he finds it. Huge take on R1s to cover his team. They should all 3 get back up as long as the cluster of precisions don't take him out. Oki will fall. Will still covering, and that's that revive pistol coming into play. If you can keep people up, hit the revive pistol shot, they'll be able to get up without you doing anything. Oki gets up for a second, then falls, then gets wiped. They only have 2 left, and they're still playing edge of zone. There is not a lot of cover going into this next circle, so sure, you want to go early? It's free for the pickings. King AJ says, I'm just going to take a vehicle. I'll just grab a quick splatter. I've got 8 kills yet again. King AJ is leading this tournament in eliminations at this point. 25 between the 2 maps that we've seen thus far. These last 2 maps. We're not even done with this one yet, Tiff. That's insane.
Berg's running for the train. King AJ having the best time of his life right now, looking for people that are rotating. He's gonna keep soaking it up. He found one, he found another, gonna jump out, forcing the smoke to go ahead and heal, because yes, that is going to draw a lot of attention. But now he's got his eyes set on a nice little 3-piece right here. Third party central shots going out on Louis, not gonna be enough. Zap, another one pushing his issue, but it's not going to be. He almost had double digits, bro. 9 eliminations, 10 knocks. Now Louis CM last alive for the team. The issue is going to be pushed because Method Sick wants a piece of you.
That was a crazy play, but let's focus in on the action. Talk about it later. Louis CM on the edge. Morales has 1, and then there's 2 down bottom right. So it's easily the best spot right now is Team 27. Gromalok, Heeds, and our user are hanging out, taking their time. They have player advantage. They know there's going to be some floaters. If we can have some smokes and rotate some cover, that would be nice. A little bit of doom cover, but we peaked too far and too high up. We're going to get picked off. We've lost 1. We're at risk of losing 2, but great shots here from their third to pick up 1 from distance. They've lost 1 in the process, so we're down to 2. Heeds and third looking for this next push. That's right.
Oh, those X12s, bro, they are so kind of annoying at the end game because people are just not missing A's and 7 eliminations, trying to play the train tracks. They should be able to win this. 2 squads left. They just need to find that last member.
No. Cams goes big and finds one. He has to push the fight. Grabs the knock, the elimination, and the win. Heeds coming out on top. Aydan with a big game as well. Tiff, I can only imagine that was close to a probably 50-point game or so, given the eliminations across the board from that team. Excited to take a look at that score and a look at their victory moment because whew, they needed that one, and it came in clutch here in map number 4.
There's no way that player was going to get the res off. Heeds was like, all right, this is my time. I'm just going to close the gap and finish it off. And congratulations to them for winning map number 4. That means we're moving into the latter half of the stages. Let's run that winning moment back.
That's a great spot to be in going into this final fight. Player advantage. 2v1 in all reality. Technically, there's 3 teams, 4 teams up. You know there's going to be some floaters. And at this moment, they have got to assume they've got the victory. There's Jukeyz who are falling. Here's the final fight. They played the trade perfectly, by the way. Eco challenged it, took the down, pushes it, wins it. Did give up 1.8 points in the final moment, but let's see if we can take a look at their leaderboard. Oh, yeah, pretty close. Not as many as I thought, but still a fantastic map. Gromalok, Heeds, and of course, Aydan moving up with a 38-point game. Pretty solid on our scorecard, especially with where they were out in the leaderboard, Tiff. Some people were expecting this win earlier. We finally got it in map 4.